Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of Manga Review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the first deluxe edition of Berserk by Kentaro Miura. Yeah, this bad boy right here, thick boy, probably the biggest manga volume I have. Well, I mean, it's an omnibus, so there's 3 volumes inside. Yeah, I know my Fist of the North Star and the JoJo's are also omnibuses technically, but this thing's massive, and yeah, there's just massive pages, so there's a lot to cover. At least I think there's a lot to cover. There's not going to be a lot of stuff story-wise that I cover, I don't think, but more so just touching on, I guess, the series itself, more so, and stuff that I noticed. I will touch on a few story elements and stuff, stuff that did happen in this, but more so just themes and whatnot that I noticed while reading this first one that continues on throughout the rest of the series. If you guys don't know what I mean, you'll see what I mean in a minute once we get started here. But yeah, just look at this beauty. Like, that is so cool. Also, excuse me if you like hear that I'm a little bit nasally. I am kind of congested, so there's like allergies or whatever, so sorry about that. But yeah, I do plan on getting the other Berserk Deluxe editions in the future. I mean, at $50, they're kind of, I mean, I say kind of, they're expensive. To drop $50 at once on just, I mean, to be fair, it is 3 volumes technically, but to just drop $50 like that, it's a bit crazy. So yeah, but I definitely will be picking up the rest of these at some point. I'll probably pick up the second one and the third one like here and there, but I think the 8th one is supposed to come out in August. And the way Dark Horse has been, oh yeah, that's another thing. It's released by Dark Horse Manga or Dark Horse Comics. I don't even really know. Let me fix my lighting here. I don't. It's either Dark Horse. It says Dark Horse Manga, so I guess it's just Dark Horse Manga. But I've heard it be called Dark Horse Comics before. But the way they've been releasing these is just very slowly. So to be honest, I probably have plenty of time to catch up. And at the moment, I believe the series is, I mean, it's halted because of, Kentaro Miura, his death kind of, I mean, the series has, from what I've gathered, has been pretty slow for a little bit as far as, like, volumes releasing, but his death kind of halted it, and not many people know what's going to happen to the series. So, I mean, the deluxe editions definitely have time to catch up because there's like 40 volumes out at the moment, and there's only 8. So, if there's 3 volumes inside, that only means that once the volume or deluxe 8 comes out, they'll only be up to volume 24, and there's 40 out. So they definitely have time to catch up. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with the ongoing series as a whole. I mean, it's sad to say, but like, we may never see the series get a proper ending. Who knows? But yeah, I'm about to get into my review. I've talked for long enough. Let's just get right into this. Okay, so the first thing with the series that I want to touch on is, well, again, sorry about my squeaky chair. I say this like every video, but I hate this chair. I mean, I like having like an office chair, but man, this chair is squeaky and it makes it hard to do videos. But yeah, the one thing about this that I really love is just how detailed the art is. Now, I don't know how much art I can show, but I'm just gonna point out this page. I took a minute to find a cool detailed piece, and I mean, just look at how detailed that looks, especially with got swinging his sword there. I mean, it's just insane how much detail there is, which it looks amazing. I feel like maybe it was just me, but I guess a sort of problem that I had when reading this, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with the books itself or the story or anything, but maybe it's just because they're such large pages and such detailed imagery, and they're all black and white, that when I was like reading, it was like kind of hard to focus just because there was so much going on. It was just like, I don't know, there's just so much little detail, just little black lines, and it's just, for me, it was just hard to focus on what was going on. It just kind of, I feel like at some points I was just looking at what was happening and my brain sort of shut off and was like, yes, just black lines. Like, because there's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of moments. Again, I don't really know how much of this I can show because some of it is sort of gruesome, or there is some not pleasant things, I guess, in here, or I don't know how much of this is spoilers, or I don't know. I'm guessing there's not many spoilers considering this is only like the first deluxe edition, but I just don't know how much I can show. But there's just a lot of really detailed artwork, and it's just amazing. Just the dark imagery is just so cool. Like, just scenes where Guts is just swinging that massive sword of his and just lopping off half a dude's head. There was a scene where, like, he was surrounded by dudes, and he just swung it and, like, cut one dude in half, another dude's head off, like, through his face, and chopped another dude into the wall. Like, it's a bloodbath, and I love it. And just I don't know, the art style is nothing I've seen before, honestly. It's so good. And with that, I guess comes, it does have, I will say, it does have a parental advisory sticker on it for a reason. Well, me showing my volume there made my face light up a lot because of the contrast, but yeah, it's definitely not, I would say it's definitely not for the faint-hearted, definitely not for children, so do be warned before reading this, and it does cover some heavy topics. It didn't cover them a lot, like, it didn't cover, the main thing people talk about with the series is, like, what happened to Guts, when he was a kid, that whole thing, but, which is, like, it's messed up, don't get me wrong, but I feel like when people are talking about Berserk, they always make sure to add in that point, like, that happened, and it covers that heavy topic, but the thing is, if you read the deluxe editions, it kind of just it's at the very end of the chapter, kind of just throws it in at the end, and yeah, it does. I feel like maybe I have to read the other ones, but I feel like it doesn't really linger on it too much. I mean, it is a crucial point of the main character's backstory, but I feel like it just doesn't linger on it, and it doesn't, people overreact when they're talking about Berserk. They say that, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's a heavy topic, but I don't think it's that bad in Berserk. They don't like really show it happening, at least from what I've seen. Maybe they do in the Deluxe 2, I don't really know, but at least in Deluxe 1, they didn't actually, like, show it happening. It was more implied. So, I mean, yeah, I take it with a grain of salt, I guess. I don't even really know what to say about that. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I'm not trying to downplay how much of, like, a serious topic it is, or but I just didn't think it was that bad in this. So when people talking about how bad it was and blah blah blah, I think they're sort of overreacting. overreacting because it wasn't that bad. But yeah. So, but that just goes along with another thing, and that's just how dark the premise is. So I guess I'll explain the plot for a minute. Basically, the story, from what I've gathered, the story covers, or follows rather, the main character Guts, and Guts is like a mercenary, known as the Black Swordsman. He carries around this massive sword, that's like, I don't know, like 6 feet long, and it's like a thick blade too. Just kind of imagine like the Buster Blade from Final Fantasy, sort of like that. It's pretty much like that. But he has, I'm not exactly sure about the full plot, but based on all of the information provided in this first deluxe edition, he gets some sort of brand on his neck by this group of demons called the God Hand. And what I understand about this mark is that it's kind of like a curse almost. Like, it just means that he's, there's like monsters coming after him, I guess. It kind of reminded me of in Harry Potter, how Harry has his scar, and how he can like feel it hurting whenever Voldemort's near or whatever. It kind of reminded me of that. So it's sort of like that, I guess. Anyways, he basically is a major D-bag, just because, I mean, he's troubled. There was a lot of stuff that happened in his past, like partly stuff that I already mentioned, which causes him to act without remorse, pretty much. But he goes around killing monsters. And one thing I love about the series, speaking of the monsters, is just how grotesque they are. The monsters seem almost Lovecraftian, like eldritch beings, almost like eldritch-esque. They're like really gross and like weird looking, but they're like, just the detail and the skill needed to draw those consistently over several pages is ridiculous. But yeah, I love the way the monsters look in this. Again, I would show you guys, I just don't know how much of it I'm allowed to show. But you guys can look it up for yourself. But yeah, it's definitely really good, like the monsters and stuff. But yeah, he basically just kills monsters, and he's followed around by like this little fairy elf thing named Puck, who's a good guy. And he's always, I don't know if it's a dude or a girl, to be honest. I think it's a dude, maybe. But yeah, it's basically always getting mad at Guts because of how much of a dirtbag he is, because Puck is like a kind-hearted fairy elf thing. And yeah, I guess they're just trying to kill the God Hand, I guess. That's what I've gathered so far. Like I said, as far as the plot in this first deluxe edition, not a whole lot happens. I'm entering this arc called the Golden Age arc, which, from what I understand, just covers everything before. It's like a prequel, almost. I don't know, I wouldn't call it a prequel. It just covers everything about Guts' past up, like, before this point in the story. Like, this massive battle just happened, and it's covering everything about his past, like his upbringing up until when he was like a young child and joined a group called the Band of the Hawk, and met his friend, whose name is Griffith, who ends up, we see, becomes a villain in the series, which I don't think that's a spoiler, because it's, we didn't even know who Griffith was. Like, they were introduced as a villain, so it's not a spoiler, in my opinion. But yeah, so just the arc, I'm pretty sure, just covers like his entire upbringing and what happens. It's almost like just exposition, I guess. And then after that, we get, I think it's called the Conviction arc, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't know. It's probably something cool, because Berserk is freaking amazing. Yeah, so also, I was looking at my notes. Sorry if you guys hear that in the background. My dog was barking. Just the storytelling. I guess I am sort of gonna wrap this up here. Between the amazing, detailed art, and just the grotesque monsters and weird demon amalgamations, just the bloody battles and mature storytelling. I guess storytelling and themes. It makes for like the ultimate dark fantasy, in my opinion. Like, one of my favorite video game of all time is Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 5. Everybody's played it. And one of my favorite franchises of all time is Lord of the Rings, and I love The Hobbit as well. I love Tolkien's works. His whole Middle Earth and the world that he created was amazing. I love it. And so Berserk is something that's like right up my alley, and it takes the theme, like it takes the some medieval fantasy stuff and just makes it's just so dark and exciting, and everything about it pretty much is just amazing. I'm honestly speechless and find it kind of difficult to say stuff about it, just because I mean I'm overwhelmed by how good it was. So yeah, Berserk Deluxe Edition 1 is just so good, and I would honestly highly recommend it to anyone. Well, I would say anyone. I wouldn't recommend it to any kids. But yeah, if you're mature enough to read it, definitely read it. It's amazing, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say on it. I guess I don't even know if there's gonna be like a follow-up video soon for Berserk, because I'm not planning on buying the other deluxe editions in the next while. I'll probably pick them up, like I said, at some point, but I'm collecting other things at the moment, so yeah. But let me guys know if you want to see more Berserk content, I guess. I might see about picking it up in the next, I don't know, in a few months or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Berserk for now, and what was covered in this volume, or rather this deluxe. Yeah, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is, like I said, it's just so good, and I mean, it's such a shame that Kentaro Miura died, because his work was just so good, and yeah, it sucks to lose someone that's so good at their craft, you know. So yeah, R.I.P. But read Berserk. Just read Berserk. I was blown away just by how detailed every bit of it was. It was crazy. I went into reading this story blind, and it opened my eyes. So yeah, it's definitely a great manga, and if I read more of it, it'll probably end up being like top 3. It has so much potential, and I've heard so much amazing things about it. It only gets better from here. So yeah, just read Berserk, guys. But with that, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching, and we got more content coming this week, so stay tuned. But I'll see you guys in the next one.